Welcome back, guys. It's game 2 between PDC and Dekzeh. Game 1, honestly, not all that exciting. We saw a couple of cool sets, but at the end of the day, it was not that close of a game. PDC beating them down pretty bad, and now Dekzeh is going to have to win this game and a game 3 in order to not go 0-2 in this main event. Here is game 2. Let's see if he can win this game, and we'll go from there. Let's switch sides for continuity. We'll put PDC back on the bottom where he was before. Dekzeh going aggressive with a Heracross lead against a much more standard T-Tar lead on the bottom. Focus Punch coming down. Here's Aerodactyl. And that's going to be immediately killed. So Dekzeh off to a much better start than the previous game with a turn 1 knockout. The victim being Aerodactyl. Here's Metagross. Vaporeon comes in for Dekzeh. And that's going to take a Meteor Mash, not as well as usual because of a critical hit, but nevertheless, gonna get him. Thunder Punch coming down, so we see that it's a mixed meta here, and he gets Para, so 2 pieces of hacks in a row for PDC, a crit and then a Para respectively. Wish gets off anyway. Here's Protect. And there is Thunder Punch. And that's going to get Vaporeon back up to 82% here. Cloyster coming in for PDC, and that's going to be met with a spinner, but of course in this 1v1 situation, Cloyster wins pretty handily with the Stab, Surf, or Stab Ice Beam, whichever he may have, or both. There's Spikes and Earthquake respectively. Cloyster with his very high base defense stat, going to take that very well, 25%. Vaporeon coming in, stepping on a Spike. And there is Surf triggering Water Absorb, bringing Vaporeon back up to 95%. Dekzeh probably made the switch anticipating exactly that. Spike's layer number 2 coming down. And there's the BP. Dekzeh does have a very reliable spinner in Claydol in the back, so he doesn't have to worry too much about these spikes. He can probably remove them later on, though PDC very well may have a Gengar in the back. If he does, it would be his last poke, because we see Swampert here. And the CB Hera here doing even more work. Brick Break this time, getting him for 52%. Vaporeon into Swampert. Earthquake, another critical hit against the Vaporeon for PDC. Certainly when it takes multiple crits and gets paralyzed, Vaporeon not as durable, go figure. And the follow-up Earthquake gets the job done. Vaporeon gonna go down. We've got ourselves a 5-5 situation. Heracross making his reappearance here. Does Swampert have Protect to scout the Choice Band move? Indeed he does, which is what I thought was questionable about Dekzeh's play. PDC now knows that he's stuck on Megahorn and he can make his switch accordingly. Does he have Gengar in the back? Doesn't seem to. Here's Cloyster. Here's Megahorn. Going to come up short of killing him outright, but the sand will do the job. Cloyster going to go down after setting 2 layers of spikes. Dekzeh with the 5-4 advantage. Here's Meta. Here's Megahorn. And here's Meteor Mash. Hera going to go down. We've got ourselves a 4-4 Mountain of Unrevealeds for Dekzeh. Shows one of them now. Still has 2 more. 1 unrevealed for PDC. Metagross would die to basically anything Salamence could do here. Earthquake, Dragon Claw, Flamethrower. Pick a winner. Turns out to be Earthquake. There's the knockout. And PDC now going to respond with his pretty healthy Swampert at 79%. Dekzeh still with unrevealeds. Shows one of them here. Here's Blissey. She is going to get Ice Beamed for 10%. 4-3 lead for Dekzeh. They both have a hidden poke in the back. And it is Lax for PDC, so very boom spammy here for PDC. This looks a lot like the team that Nails runs. I think that is a Gengar, but similar concept here. Multiple booms and spikes into double rock spam. This is going to be a physical tar, and of course Aerodactyl going to be physical as well. So he's going to be going for some rock slide shenanigans. There's Earthquake from Lax, Return from Lax, which I think is going to have self-destruct. There's Crunch and a Specs Drop for Dekzeh. There's Earthquake. See, I thought he would have that. I think it's utility Lax. I think his last 2 moves are simply going to be Shadow Ball and Boom. Going to go for Pursuit here. Incorrect about Lax switching out. And he's going to knock out the T-Tower with Earthquake. So Lax is low here, but he's alive. And there is that Specs Drop, which could matter. Not against an Earthquake Salamence. This is obviously a physical Mence. He's going to have to kill the Lax here, though. Otherwise, Lax is going to blow up on him. Here's Bliss trying to bait that boom, and that's what happens. There's the trade. So that's going to leave us in a 2v2. It's going to be T-Tower and Swampert against Claydol and Salamence, and it ends up being T-Tower and Claydol, respectively. This matchup can go either way. Who's faster? It matters a lot. Turns out T-Tower's faster. Faster crunch. Heavy Earthquake coming down. Either one of these guys can easily 2-hit KO the other. But like I said, the important thing is who's faster, and that is Tyranitar. Dekzeh comes in with Salamence right to the Ice Beam. Wow. I mean, I think he was in trouble either way, but that is one ugly way to seal it. Coming into the Ice Beam seals the deal. Claydol outsped and killed by the Tyranitar, and that is that. But realistically, let's say the Salamence will just come into another crunch. Even if he outspeeds and kills the Tyranitar here with an Earthquake or whatever, the Swampert would beat both the Claydol and the Salamence basically always, basically 100% of the time. The only way that would not be the case is if Dekzeh blew up on the Swampert, if it even had boom, on a non-protect turn, and then the Salamence proceeded to come in and get him, which may have even required a crit, depending on how much the boom did. But none of that happened. PDC predicted the Salamence, sniped him with the Ice Beam. Salamence went down, and then Claydol to follow with the crunch. PDC with a 2-0 victory in the set is going to knock Dekzeh out of this main event. Dekzeh, I believe, did not win a single game. I think he went 0-4 in games, had a great run through the play-ins, but did not get it done in the main event. He might be one of two Brazilians, depending on what ends up happening in the Alolan set, to both go 0-2 and be out of this early. But we did see that Kratos Mana won his first round, as did Tama, so those guys are going to be around at least a little bit longer. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Dekzeh, I appreciate you participating in this tour, going through the grind of play-ins, and doing your best in the main event. Sorry to see you go, but PDC is going to be the winner here, and he will live to fight another day. Thank you guys for watching. Thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you guys with a lot more content.